Well, hey everybody, welcome. It is an absolutely beautiful morning, and as we can see here, very, very calm, beautiful on the lake there. Fabulous. So we actually haven't had a video out for a couple of weeks. My apologies. I have been so busy with the property. There's just so much maintenance, so many things that have to get done. However, we're back on the roll again, and we're going to go out and see what's out in the bush. So come for a walk with us, see what we can see. And this is what I mean by maintenance on the property. Keeping these fields mowed is, it's a big project. And on this side of the creek, I don't have a bridge to get to there, so I have an actual push mower that I've been doing it with. An electric push mower, if you can believe it, battery powered, sitting way over there. And I have done this entire, I guess it's about 3 acres, by the push mower. Now all the fields on this side of the creek are done with my ride-em lawnmower, so it's nice I get to take a break from that and sit on my keister. But yeah, it's a lot of work. 70 acres is just a lot, and that's just down here. We're not talking about way up on that ridge there, because that's all the property too. So yeah, but it does make it very I don't know, park-esque, maybe golf course, who knows. I just like the look of it. I don't like the fields full of just tall dead grass. This just finishes it off and makes it look a little more pristine. There's a whole bunch of little froggies in here. Just got their kind of heads out of the water, like they're sunning themselves. I'll come around and you'll see that they'll all jump out of the way. Oh, there they go. Yeah, tons of them. And I think those are all first year North American bullfrogs, I think. I don't think they're our native guys. This is the false Solomon seal. Well, this one here is not right, but all the rest of them are. I want to show you these beautiful things. Look at these lovelies. Oh yeah, they're so good. These guys are loaded with vitamin C and just so tasty. And they've got not a great meat to stone ratio. The stone's quite big. And that's the stone there. And yeah, so they're not a lot of meat, but nice and sweet when they're ripe. And I always only take just a few and leave the rest for the birds and for it to reseed itself. And of course, you know, take the seed and throw it into the bush somewhere where they can proliferate. And one of the things I forgot to say about these guys when we were talking about them before was the rhizome. Because most of the rest of the plant doesn't have really a lot. Like these guys have some polysaccharides in them and a few polyphenols and whatnot. But the major part of the medicinal qualities of these guys are in the rhizome. And in the rhizome, you can take that guy and you can actually mash it into a pulp, and you can use it on your wounds. So you just get some dressing and make a poultice out of it, stick it in the dressing and put it over your wound. They are anti-hemorrhagic, so they can help you with stopping the bleeding. If you're out in the bush, you know, clean it as best you can and then mash it up into a pulp with a couple of rocks, you know, if you need it in an emergency situation. So yeah, so these guys, and they also, the most of the polysaccharides in these guys are in the rhizomes. So, and they've also got some antimicrobial qualities to them as well. So yeah, awesome, awesome plant. False Solomon seal. Lovely. I'm going to take 1 or 2 more off of this one. Oh, there's a whole bunch more on this guy right here. And you can see the contrast between the one that's not ripe as opposed to the ones that are. Just amazing, amazing berries. They're really good, nice and sweet. Now, several episodes back, a little bit earlier in the spring, we covered the brand new young Cryptoporus valvatus. That's these guys here. And we actually cut one in half. And yeah, he didn't develop, but he did grow another one out from underneath it, because this one was compromised, so he did that. And now they're nice and hard. They're not edible, even when they're young. They're very, very bitter, nice and soft, but very bitter. These guys are kind of gastroid-like, kind of like the gastroms and the lycoperdons and whatnot. And they have this solid covering under the spore surface, and the spore surface is up here on these guys. Spores fall down onto the underside. Beetles normally find a way in here through this little carapace here, and then they go in, get covered in spores, take off up the tree to look for other ones, and keep spreading the spores. These ones don't look like they've been attacked by any beetles yet. This one maybe, yep. Or it's just a weak spot, because they grow a weak spot in this bottom carapace so that it makes it easier access for the critters to come in and grab their spores. So yeah, this tree is obviously toast because it's covered in these little guys all the way up. There's some that have broken open. So yeah, so they're just dumping their spores all the way down this tree and hoping that next year they're going to grow a whole bunch more. Awesome. Cryptoporus valvatus. And of course, lake edge. The Rubus armeniacus are going crazy. These guys are just absolute monsters. Look at the size of these things. Love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Great to freshen up your mouth as you're going on a little hike. So about a year ago, one of our videos, we featured the West Coast Reishi, the Ganoderma organense. And it was growing right here before I harvested it. That was the edge of his kind of pseudo-stipe there. And we have a little button growing here. And I'm not sure if it is the actual Ganoderma organensis button, or if it is actually a red-belted conch, the Fomitopsis munciae or panicola. Not sure. But if it is the reishi, we will know in a little while, because it'll get quite a bit bigger. Sometimes they can get up to like 12 inches across, which I actually found some that we featured a year ago as well on a different video, I think. But these guys can help you with your mental health, and they give you a sense of well-being. Plus, they're full of polysaccharides and polyphenols and flavonoids and all the good stuff that help us fight cancers and keep our immune system healthy. So we'll keep an eye on this guy, see what happens. Is it a red-belted conch? Is it a Ganoderma? We do not know, but we will find out eventually. Yeah. But yeah, awesome. I harvested this guy here last year, and I just made it into like minced it up and made it into a slurry and just added it to things. Just really, really great. So many good things in there for us. But yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this guy at the base of this big old Doug fir. And the reason why I say it could possibly be a Fomitopsis munciae is because there's a big guy right up there. But like I said, that one reishi was growing right there. So, and this one's only, what, 1.5 feet away? Time will tell, my friends. Time will tell. Okay, carrying on. I have no idea what these caterpillars are. They're kind of all over these plants. Like it might be one of those little swallowtails that, I don't know. I am not up on my caterpillars and flutterbys, although I love them. Of course, I love the flutterbys more than I do the caterpillars because they eat all my gardens. But nonetheless, when I first saw it, I thought, God, is there a bunch of wasps on this thing? But no, it's these guys. Very cool. And they're growing on, this is not tansy ragwort. It looks like tansy ragwort, but it is not. I believe this is one of the Rose of Sharons, but I'm not positive. And here's some finished off Monotropa unifloras. These are the ghost pipes, and you can see that they've got their seed pods on the top here. And yeah, and these guys will produce their seeds and put out more plants next year. These guys live off of fungi. They are very dependent on them. And these will eventually all turn black, kind of like these little guys here. And they'll go completely black. And they'll just look like a little bunch of sticks sticking out of the ground eventually. I gotta say, the western reds can really do some wild formations as they're growing. Just takes for, you know, one part of it to break off, and then Another part grows out of the side, another part breaks off, another one grows out, and it's almost like a little candelabra up there. Beautiful. So cool. Alright, so we took a couple of those young Laetoporus there, and we made them into a slurry, put a little bit of honey in there just to give them a little bit of food. And we've got ourselves a beautiful conifer here. This is a Douglas fir. And now it was growing on, as far as I could tell, a hemlock. But they are conifer lovers, so hopefully this one will take to this one. Hard to say, you never know. Like I said, you can't win if you don't play. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our handy dandy little axe here, and we're just going to make a few openings in the bark. You can see how solid this thing is. It's only came down like 2 years ago. So this way it will help to get the spores, and if there was any mycelium there, into the actual wood. So we're going to do that several places all the way along here. So yeah, just putting little scars in the bark here just so stuff can get in. Just so stuff can get in. And it might not work, but we're going to give her a shot. Alright, so we have our slurry, and we're just going to pour it down the log. Yeah, just right on. This would be so cool if this actually took. I really highly doubt it, but you never know. It's worth a try. Yes. Awesome. So we've got it all kind of throughout here, kind of getting into the cracks and the seams. And then we'll leave that, and hopefully in the next year or two, something's going to come out of it. Yeah, right on. Yeah, boy did it turn orange after I let it sit there overnight. It's pretty wild. Yeah, because it was bright yellow when I put it in there, but cool. Well, we'll see what happens. It always blows my mind how much wood in this particular forest is absolutely been attacked by the Chlorosaboria ruginascens mycelium. This stuff is just beautiful. Look at how dark that is. Wow, it's just really cool. And it's all over the place. I'll take you along the trail and show you. I just wanted to cut into a piece of this, and I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Oh, hang on. I'll set up my tripod and I'll cut into a piece. Okay, so we've got this. Wow, there you go. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love that. It's really dark. Yeah, I'll take you up the trail, and there's a whole swack more of it. So I went to the dentist with one heck of a toothache, and he said, oh, I'm going to have to pull that tooth for sure. So he let me have it, and wow, it really hurt, man. That was crazy. Not just kidding, obviously. This is actually a deer antler. This is probably a little 3-point by the looks of it. In our province, we call it 3-point. I think a couple of provinces, they call them, they double it, so there would be 3 and 3, so 6-point on the deer scale. Deer antlers. Not probably in several different countries as well do the same thing. But here, this would have been classified as a 3-point. For some reason, he got it either into a fight and it broke off, or it was the end of the season and it just was stunted. Who knows? But really looked like a tooth. So weird. Anyways, up the trail. Nice having a little bits of sun creeping into the forest here. But being in the shade in the summer is beautiful. So, very nice. What are you smelling, baby girl? Who's that beautiful, patient girl? Always waiting for the old man. Alright, sweet pea, let's go. Yeah, see, here's more. This entire log here is completely attacked by the Chlorosaboria ruginascens. And there's a whole swack more over here. This stuff. Isn't that just amazing? I just love nature. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Just all over. So, okay, I don't want to overkill these guys if I haven't already. So, Chlorosaboria ruginascens, that's the beautiful blue stained wood you see out in the forest. And they will grow little caps and whatnot, and on the underside usually, and only when it's moist. They like a lot of water. And we've got some cousins to the Reishis. This is a Ganoderma applanatum. Yeah, and they quite often will get this kind of a cinnamony dust over top of them. And the Ganoderma oregonense can also do that as well, even though it normally looks varnished and whatnot. But this is the old artist conch, and a while back I actually took one off and had to show my artistry skills. Aren't I amazing? Oh, hold it upright. Aren't I amazing? Yeah, the guy that can't even draw a stick person. So a lot of people use these and do their artistry skills on them, and some people do some amazing, amazing things. Yeah, so this guy would have been attached, something like that. But yeah, take a flip around to the other side here. Oh, this log's covered in them. Cool. Well, there's their pore surface, and I don't know if it's too old. Let's try. Yeah, there you go. And another thing actually is, unlike the oregonense, that kind of dies off, and you can actually flip the lid, and it's normally full of bugs, and sometimes it just gets knocked right off. These guys keep going year after year, and adding to their colonies, basically, as it were. Well, it looks to me like this log's getting attacked by the Chlorosoboria as well. Holy snapping! That's amazing. Here's an old hoof fungus. This is a Fomes fomentarius. And, oh, here you go. You can see all the pores, how they're big tubular pores. These guys are very good, when they're dry, for holding a tinder. So, most likely, you know, Neanderthals and archaic humans probably used these quite often for carrying their embers. Instead of having to crack rocks together every time they wanted to make a fire, they could just carry their tinder in something like this. And it also has its own carrying package too. So have it up like this, make a hollow in there, get your tinder going and get it in there, and you can carry it on the road. I don't know how long it would go, but yeah, same as they use coconut husks, they use that for the same kind of thing. Very neat. Let's boogie on down the trail. Now, of course, we've got our beautiful little red huckleberries here. These are the Vaccinium parvifolium. These guys are absolutely lovely. We got a great crop of them this year. There's actually just, these guys are all over this bush. Really, really high in vitamin C. Just awesome. Love these guys. Look at them all. Just loaded across this guy. Now, funnily enough, I've got the Vaccinium parvifolium, I've got the Vaccinium ovalifolium, the oval leaf blueberry. I do not have the black huckleberries here, unfortunately. Not on my property anyways. It could be nearby, but alright, I've got to shut off because I'm going to pick a few of these and snarf them. Well, it looks like we lost another birdie to some kind of critter, probably like a hawk or even an owl or one of them, and it looks to be, it was the red shaft northern flicker. Yeah, they're just lovely, lovely little birds. They're beautiful. Yeah, I know they call them red shaft, but they're kind of orange. But yeah, it's definitely, somebody got them. Don't know who, but unfortunate. They are beautiful. All right, carrying on. Oh, some little tiny, tiny little rose hips. These guys aren't much bigger than the size of a huckleberry. These are the Rosa sicularis, the prickly rose. And you can see how many thorns are all over its stalk. These guys are like all, you know, the Rosa nutcana or any of the other ones. They're loaded with stuff. These guys do have prickly little seeds that'll give you a really bad itchy bum. So don't eat the seeds. Eat the flesh or make it into tea. And we got some curly dock here, some Rumex crispus that's just getting ready to go into seed here. And these guys are already formed into their little triplets. There is 3 little seeds to each little package. And then they have these little tiny fins on it. And I believe that helps when they fall. It kind of spins them and maybe helps dig them into the ground, or the wind could help carry them away. But yeah, they're just, you can see they're little tiny, tiny leaves. These guys aren't quite ready yet, but you can still use them. They're still got all the same nutrients and everything. They're just fabulous. They're just not quite dried out enough to make flour out of yet. Yep. Awesome. So several years ago, beavers came in and took down all the arbutus in here, and it was absolutely a beautiful witch's ring of arbutus. It was just really, really neat. And they came in, mowed it down, and I thought they were all dead. And then I started seeing little shoots come up. So I wrapped it with some wires to keep the deer away from the young shoots, because they absolutely love these things. And look at it. It's coming back just beautifully. Got another one right here. This guy's all caged up and he's coming back beautifully. And then we got this one here. So yeah, they don't like being transplanted, but they are hardy. You cut them down, they're going to try and grow back, which is what we want. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe button if you haven't already. Awesome. Until next time, my friends, take care now.